Happy holidays. It's
And-
Patti.
And Merry Christmas. It's Marie. And welcome to the Patti and Marie show. And we have
guest
Marna Ross.
Is this
Yay.
exciting?
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you, Marna, for
Oh,
joining us.
This is such a Christmas gift
Oh,
for our
it is.
teams to have the rocking Marna Ross. You know, Marna, I have always admired you because you have, not only are you $1 million seller, but you have been Circle of Honor in recruiting. And at your shows, not only do you have great sales, you leave with shows on your calendar, and you sign up people right there and then at the party.
That is true. That's what I do.
So you've got the secret, Marna.
Yeah, she does.
And I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it right now.
Oh, would you start at the very beginning? Start
at the beginning.
And
All right.
how do you start your shows?
All right, well, let me look in my book of wisdom here and share something with you. Now, I'm really just going to give you some tips that what I think helps to get your show off to a great start. So first of all, what you want to do is make sure that you're making a connection with people. People's skills are probably the most overlooked thing in this business, so you have to become the master of small talk. And that makes other people feel tall. So what you want to do is learn some questions to ask people. Like, hey, how do you know the host? Or where do you work? Or what did you do before you came? That makes people feel connected to you so that when you get to the important part of the show, which is the end, they already know who you are. They've kind of gotten a feel for you. They've got a feel for me. Anyway, not that kind of feel. And they feel connected to you. And so then you'll be able to ask them to join your team or ask them to have a party. So that's one really good tip.
So when you actually start the show,
Yes.
what's your introduction like?
My introduction would be something like, hey, I want to thank you so much for coming to Marie's party tonight. Let me tell you about some rules of the party, and then we're going to get to the cooking, because I'm going to assume that none of you really care about me in the beginning. But hopefully by the end of the party, we're going to want to do some things together. So first of all, we're going to take about an hour of your time tonight to go make a fabulous recipe. I promise you the food's going to be great. I want to tell you some rules of the party. The first rule is that you need to sit back and relax. We're not going to be here all night. And the second rule is this. Can you do that? And the second rule is that if you have a product that you love that I show you, feel free to tell everybody, I've got that, I love it, I use it. If you have it, it's never been used, it's in the box, be quiet, no one cares. So, so those are some rules of the party. So then the second thing that I would do is kind of set up what to expect. So we're going to be showing you probably about 50 products in really quick order. So what I'd love for you to do is take some notes.
Okay.
I'd love you to write down products that you see
Okay.
that you like, and at the end of the party, I'm going to ask each and every one of you what was something that you saw at the party that you loved. And then you're probably going to see a lot of things that you want. So at the end of the party, we'll be chatting more. If you want to buy some products, that's great. My favorite way for you to pay for an order is by credit or debit card. If you see a lot of things, then I think you're going to want to have a show. And usually 3 or 4 of you are going to tell me at the end of the party, oh my gosh, I want to have a party, and I'd love to have one with you. And then watch what I do, because a lot of my guests at my parties think, you know what, I could do what she's doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, you really could. So if you want everything in the catalog, keep that thought in mind, and at the end of the party, we'll chat about how you can get everything you ever wanted from Pampered Chef by giving Pampered Chef a try. So let's get rocking and rolling with the party right now, and we'll come back to that later, and then take it away for the party.
Now, Marna, I know that you use people's names at the show.
I do.
How do you do that?
Well, I used to be like a lot of people. I could not remember a name. I'd be introduced to somebody. Hi, nice to meet you. I'd like to introduce you to my husband. Oh, I'm sorry, what was your name? Because I think women are paying attention to cute outfit, nice hair, whatever. So, and especially Patti. So anyway, what I like to do is when I meet somebody, I say their name back to them. I say, it's so nice to meet you, Marie. And then I meet the next person. I'll say, sitting next to Marie is Joni. Okay, Joni, how do you know the host? Okay, so I've got Marie, Joni, and Nancy. And I won't go to the next person until I can repeat back in my head every person that I've already met. It's kind of like a game. You just keep building name after name. And then I usually have all 20 or 25 or however many people are at the party, have them all memorized, and then I can use them during the party. If you can't do that, and a lot of people can't, then use a name tag, or at least remember a couple people's names. But my whole thought is, if people love to hear their name being called, and people always comment, oh my gosh, you knew everybody's name, and that's just one of my sales tricks.
So, like at the show, how would you use my name?
I would constantly be calling out, always, hey John, what was something, I might say, John, do you have the deep covered baker? What have you used it for? you know, Nancy, I know that you had a party with me last month. What's the favorite thing that you got? I'm constantly asking questions. My whole party is nothing but questions. Nothing but questions. Everything is phrased so that they're involved.
What's one of your favorite food demos that you do at your show these days?
Lots of them, but I use a chicken fiesta dip. It's just kind of a company's recipe.
What is
that
that?
I've kind of, you know what? You cook 2 boneless chicken breasts in the deep covered baker.
Okay.
Sprinkle it with chili, lime, and Southwest. Bring it out, drain it off, chop it. 2 cream cheese, 2 cloves of garlic, half a cup of Mexican blend cheese, salsa on the top, more Mexican blend cheese, microwave 7 minutes, and then black olives and green onions on the top and nacho chips. It's absolutely killer. It's delicious and it shows a ton of product.
Wow.
So that's an
I like that
easy
one. Yeah.
peasy.
Okay.
Nice.
And you're doing one recipe.
I do one recipe unless they get 12 people there, and then
12?
I'll make like a lava
Okay.
cake. So I kind of dangle the second recipe out as their bonus for having 12.
Now, the secret to signing people up at the show, what is that?
I don't
mean,
know.
I would like to do
you know,
that.
I don't know.
I would like
Okay,
to do that too.
well, I'll tell you my philosophy. Let me turn to the philosophy page of my book. My whole philosophy about recruiting is this. I try to equate it to selling products or booking parties. And if I were going to try to sell you a deep covered baker, I would not just say, I've got a really great deep covered baker, and I'd like to send you home with a recipe book and a catalog, and I'd like you to go home and talk to your husband about it and see if he might want that. And then, you know, maybe call me back and we could get you a deep covered baker ordered. Or a booking. You know,
Yeah, that'd be
well,
crazy.
why don't you go home and see if your husband can be gone and clean your house and all that. What we do with other things is we create the desire, and then we close the deal right at the party, right? Because
Right.
the excitement is the highest at the party. People go home and things have happened. So what I do is give them enough information to excite them, just like the deep covered baker or the booking possibility, but not too much so that they can talk themselves out of it. So enough information to get them excited, and always talk about the most important things. What's in it for them? And that's what people really want to know.
Right.
What are the benefits? What's the cost? And if the benefits are going to outweigh the cost, and the cost is the price of the kid, but it's also their cost of investment, their time, right? So if I tell them 12 hours, give it a try, I promise I'm going to help you, because I think the biggest concerns people have is, how long will it take me to do this? Am I going to lose my investment? Am I going to be successful? So you always want to say something, and I promise you, I'm going to help you get off to a great start by either hosting your first party for you. How can you turn it down? I'm going to come and work for free for you. I'm going to get you set up for success. And then you might want to just throw in just a little bit of a bonus and say, you know what, and if you'll decide tonight, yes, I want to give this a try, I'll give you $10 if free product. And that's, I don't want to take them to lunch tomorrow. I want them just to sign up and let's give it a try. So, and the other thing, one more thing about this whole idea of signing people at the show, is that I really look for people that are kind of like me and Patty and Marie,
Yes, I agree.
that are
I
excited
do too.
and can make a decision fairly quickly. If I hire somebody that takes 6 months to sign up, it's probably going to take them 6 months to do their first party. But if I hire Susie Q that's so excited, she can usually get it going right away. So I look for people that are type A personalities, and that's who I try to attract.
So I guess,
Good point.
what is your statement that you make at the show? Because I know you've changed it up a gazillion times,
Yes.
how you talk about the business at your party.
Mhm.
What's your current thing that you're saying at your shows, like right now?
One of my favorite things to talk about at my parties right now is this. Girls, I'm always talking with people that are looking for another way to make a little bit of extra money to save for retirement. My sister is a retirement planner, and one of the saddest things she sees every day is people coming in at 55, my age, and saying, I'd like to retire when I'm 58. And the retirement planner looks at them and says, either you need to cut your method of living way down because you can't afford it, you're going to have to work longer, or are you willing to work in retirement? And who wants to be a greeter at Walmart? Hello. So my suggestion is to pick up an extra stream of income now, save for your retirement now, and I cannot tell you there's not a better job to do that than with Pampered Chef. So the other thing that you could do is, if you love our products, if you just want everything in the book, I hire a lot of girls and guys who just want to get product. So no matter if you want extra income, do you want to get the product at a discount, do you just want a fun night out? I mean, I have a 67-year-old husband at home with a remote control in his hand. It's like a weapon. I need to get out. So if it weren't for me coming out to parties like this, Marie, my therapy would be locking myself in a car with a bottle of wine. And so thank you for coming to the party tonight. If you need that kind of therapy,
see me.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great.
That's the kind of stuff I talk about, just nonsense, really,
Yeah.
just pretty much.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
great.
I love that line.
Is there anything that, like when you're winding up, you know, that you tell them about booking their own show and
Sure.
closing out your show? How does that
I
work?
think the closing of my party would go like this. You know, the food is almost ready, girls. So what I'd like to do is find out, first of all, what was one thing that you saw that you loved
I love
tonight?
this. Yeah,
So we're
that's
going to
a
go
great
around
tip.
the room, and if you could tell me something that you saw that you loved. Everyone gives me their ideas because
So I'd say deep covered baker.
deep cover baker, and you know what, Marie, how many of you would agree with Marie? Deep cover baker's on your list. You know what, that's one of my #1 host gifts. By hosts who have parties, that's why they book parties. So if you're wanting that for free or discount, let's talk about having a party. But even better, girl, that's a bonus when you sign up this month. I've got a gift for you now, $10 for free. I've got a gift for you later, a deep covered baker. So let's talk about that later. You know, and then we go around the room and they tell me something, and I usually will say something back. That's on my big wrap up. And then I'll say something like, it sounds like everybody has lots of things on their wish list. So I told you in the beginning, your 3 ways to get them, you know, by purchasing tonight, get a free blah, 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 by hosting a party. But let's finish up with the really best way to get a lot of product, and that's by buying our starter kit. I want you to all look on page 3 of our catalog, and you've got to look at this kit. And you know what? Like we said before, whether you want some extra money or some product, this is the way to get started. And you know what? It's $159. It's got $575. How many of you love a great deal? So this is the best deal I have in the catalog. You can't turn down a 70% discount, can you?
No.
Can you?
No.
I love a deal. I'm in.
And so who are my bargain shoppers? Who are my, you know, if you are looking for some extra income though, because what could $100 or $400 do for your family a month? So I'm just going to give you the chance to purchase a starter kit tonight. I have an $80 kit and a $159. If you'll just write on your order form, I want the kit, and tell me which one you want. We'll get that ordered for you tonight, and by tomorrow, you can have a business, and we'll try it for a month and see how it goes. So when you check out, I'm going to be asking every single one of you, what do you think about hosting a party? Because having a party is one of the best way to get products. And I'm also going to ask you, what do you think about one of those starter kits? So it's as simple as that.
I'm in.
If you'll just take your recruiting talk and turn it into like selling a product or booking a party, I promise you your recruiting results will just skyrocket because you're not making a big deal about it. They're not going to make a big deal of it. They just think it's natural. Like, oh, I went to a party, bought a kit. That's what I did.
Okay.
Wow.
So does
I
that
know.
help?
That's a great strategy, Marna.
All right.
That's a gift.
It is.
That is a
It's
gift.
a
This is
gift
a
to
gift.
them and to me.
Yes, I know.
And I think in this time of the year, we all realize like what a gift this business
I know.
is to us.
It really,
Exactly.
And
yeah.
it's a gift that can keep on giving. So, you know, as you think about all the other Christmas presents under the tree, I think about our business and our good friends. And thank you for sharing.
This
And
is so
everybody,
Thanks for having me.
have a
Oh my
great
gosh, Marna,
Christmas,
thank you.
We'll see you
Hanukkah,
soon.
whatever.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Maybe some people for
holidays.
your Christmas present.
Bye.
Bye.